Johnny. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Happy spring break.
Happy spring break indeed.
We had a pretty good spring break so far.
Yeah.
At least you did. I've been working the last couple days.
Yeah. First off, we went to Texas.
Yeehaw!
Yeah. The stars at night are big and bright.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Yeah.
Now, look, I learned that from Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure. We didn't try it out to see if that's something that really is done there, but I'm assuming it's done there.
Wait, so what do you mean? Like, what do they do?
So Pee Wee Herman goes on this big adventure,
Yeah.
and somehow he's in Texas, and somebody does that first part, and then the whole crowd around claps and finishes deep in the heart of Texas.
Oh, we should have tried it.
We should have tried it, especially when we were at the Alamo is when we should have tried it.
Yeah. Where's the basement?
There's no basement in the Alamo. So let's get things started off. We got a new sponsor this week.
Yes, we do.
This podcast that does not review movies has gotten a potential sponsorship by Cinemark.
Actually?
I mean, it's all potential.
Oh, okay.
So look, I have the Cinemark app. I am a Cinemark, whatever their subscription service is. I pay my
A movie person?
$10 a month or whatever, because I'll go to the movies with Renee and I at least 10, 12 times a year.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's worth it. So I don't have to pay whatever handling fees or whatever fees they get, and I can get discounted tickets and stuff like that.
And like discount on snacks.
Yeah, discount on snacks. So that's anyway. So this podcast that does not review movies, that's about to review a movie, is brought to you by and sponsored by Cinemark.
Yes. So the movie that we are not reviewing this time is called The Green Book.
Now, The Green Book came out. Look, this movie came out a few years ago. I remember seeing this in the theaters with Renee, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I saw that it was one of those viewing options on Southwest,
Yeah.
and so I told your brothers, I said, you guys got to watch this movie. It is so good.
So what was the age group you recommend for this?
It's a PG-13. But honestly, I mean, to me, it's so good that if you're 8 years old and mature somewhat, you can handle it. So the book talks. The Green Book apparently was a book of rules that blacks had to follow in the 60s, and so there's certain towns in the South that had rules like you can't be out past dark, and they had a curfew and different things like that. So it's just crazy.
Yeah. Terrible.
I mean, stuff like that ticks me off, right?
Yeah.
You see racism and stuff. I mean, like being on the West Coast, I feel like there's a different racism vibe here than maybe there is like in the South. Like, I don't feel like, I mean, we have all sorts of people over our house that are white, black, Mexican, whatever. Like, you know, we don't care.
Yeah, we accept everybody.
We accept everybody. But anyway, this movie, to me, I love it because it paints different stereotypes and things like that. And anyway, it's a book. It's a movie that will make you laugh. It'll make you cry. It'll make you a little angry. It'll make you happy. It kind of gives you all the emotions.
So there's basically you go. Sorry.
I like that insight, man. That was solid.
Yeah.
So anyway, go ahead, watch The Green Book, and that kind of gives us a good segue into something that I brought up last time. And I want to talk about this time. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. So I've created a few scenarios here. And I'm going to ask you true or false. Yeah. Like, is this something that I'd made up? Because you know me, I make up a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So did I make this up, or is this a legit rule? So giving it back. So I'm at this conference, and I'm talking to this lady. She graduated from the University of Washington in the mid-'60s. And somehow she started talking about some of these rules that were associated with the college campus that were specific to women. So there's a subset of rules for men, subset of rules for women. All right, so one of the rules, okay, true or false, women had to be in their dorms by 9 p.m., but men did not.
True.
That is true. That was true. That is exactly true. All right. Okay. Women had to wear an overcoat if they were wearing shorts on campus.
False?
So that also is true.
What?
So on this campus, you could, so say you were at gym class, right? You're at the gym and or it's a hot summer day or whatever. you could not wear shorts. You had to have a skirt or a dress.
Oh, what?
And so the way that they would do it is they would put on an overcoat so that they could be in the clear.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy? All right.
Yeah.
Girls had to wear skirts, no jeans.
True.
That is also true. Now, I kind of let in on that one.
Yeah. I don't really understand, like, why there's clothing. I feel like people should be able to wear what they want.
Well, again, it's 2024, and the culture of your day is what it is.
Yeah.
But the culture of the day back then, that was normal.
Yeah.
And so that's part of what's interesting about cultures, right? Going back to the Green Book movie, is the culture of the time was, so there's a guy who's driving around, a black pianist who's doing a piano concert tour in the Deep South. And so he brings this tough guy who's Irish. I think he was Irish.
I don't know.
Yeah, he was Irish. And so he brings this tough Irish guy. And so there's just these stereotypes about Irish people, and there's stereotypes about black people, and there's stereotypes about how whites and blacks get together, and about gays and all this stuff. So it's just there's things that we think of, and sometimes we need to step back from that culture and say, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's not right.
All right, so last one. Girls, girls had to have their skirts had to be at least knee length, and the way that was determined is they would get on their knees, and if the skirt did not touch the ground, it was not long enough.
I think that's true.
So that one is true. That one actually came from Grandma Joyce. That was at Clark High School here in Las Vegas.
So, like, okay, lady, get on your knees now.
So think of dress code, right?
Yeah.
You go to a school that has uniforms.
Yuck.
You don't like the uniforms.
No.
But now imagine you're a girl and you're wearing a skirt that's just barely above your knees, and they say, hey, get on your knees. Your skirt has to touch the ground. Like, anyway, kind of weird. There's just different etiquette things that just exist nowadays.
Yeah, so for us, basically you just have to stand up and you have to let your arms like down, and if your like shorts or whatever or like skirt is shorter than
fingertip length.
Yeah.
And that's how it was when I was in school. It was never really enforced.
Yeah.
One of these days we'll have to have your Uncle Jimmy, my brother, on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
He'd be entertaining, but he can. When he was in high school, he had the school up in an uproar because he called out the hypocrisy of that, because you would have cheerleaders that would show up to school for game day, and they'd wear their cheer uniforms, and their cheer uniforms were not fingertip length. But then if you're just a regular student and your skirt's the same length, now you're getting dress coded.
Wait, so he started like...
He had a whole newsletter. He distributed it. He got interviewed on the news.
Actually?
This is a pretty cool story. We'll get him on one of these times.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to steal all his thunder. He has a lot of cool stories anyway, so.
Yeah.
All right, so there's etiquette of times, there's cultures of times.
Yeah.
And one of the things I was thinking about when we were on our trip this past week in San Antonio, there's a number of times we found ourselves in an elevator.
Oh yeah, elevators everywhere.
Yeah, and so we're going up to a tower, we're going up to the room, whatever. We're in the airport and we're changing levels, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
What is you and I were in an elevator?
Yeah.
Somebody gets in. What do we do?
So.
Well, not what did we start doing, but what do you normally do?
Usually, I give them I just kind of just scan them to see what's going on here, and then. Yeah, I just basically just don't do anything. I just sit there.
It feels like, they get on the elevator. Maybe there's the nod of hey, what's up? Or if you're near the buttons, you maybe say, hey, what floor?
Yeah.
But even you and I, we could be engaged in a conversation.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, people get in the elevator. It's we just stop talking.
Yeah, I know. It's just I think because they're well, I want to be in on this conversation too.
Yeah, hey, this is a Josh and Johnny conversation.
Yeah, we don't want this elevator rando to be on.
Yeah, could be a spy.
Yeah, you never know.
Russian spies all over the place.
Yeah, just government spies too.
Yeah, government spies could be the FBI, CIA. Who knows?
Agent spies.
Secret agent spies.
Yeah.
So anyway, that just seems like. All right, we'll just continue this conversation when they get off or when we get off, whatever. I started doing something on this trip.
Yeah. So basically, we're just sitting in the elevator, like us four boys, and then somebody walks in, and you just say, welcome to our meeting, and you're like, first order of business, and then you just go off random, like on a tantrum. What's it?
Yeah, just a tangent.
Yeah, tangent.
A random tangent, yeah. And so, honestly, I mean, I don't know. To me, I enjoyed that a little bit better than we're going to stare at each other with an awkward silence.
Yeah. I mean, like, if I walked into, like, imagine yourself, everybody, you're just walking into an elevator, and then they're like, welcome to our meeting. And I'd be like, I'm going to die here. Yeah.
Well, and so what I would do is like, all right, first item of business is let's review the agenda.
Yeah.
And I would ask them, are there any items that you would like to have on the agenda? I was courteous. I didn't want to be selfish with the meeting.
Yeah, so they're like, yeah, I don't remember what they, like, said.
Most of them didn't have anything to bring to the agenda.
Yeah, we kind of just, like, laughed a little bit.
Yeah, because that's kind of what you expect. We did have a family, I think they were from India. They got on the elevator.
Yeah.
And the item of business I brought up was vacations are expensive with kids.
Yes.
And they had a few comments on that one.
They're like, amen.
They agreed to that one. So anyway, next time you're on an elevator, here's something. So I don't know if I ever told you this. My dad, very patriotic.
God bless the USA.
This is not a singing podcast. We now know why.
Yeah.
So it is in a number of occasions my dad has been in an elevator and gotten people to start singing the Star Spangled Banner. They've done the Pledge of Allegiance. So the God Bless the USA, like not too far off. Like I have been on elevators with him, and we are ending the elevator ride, and we are all singing the national anthem.
Wow. Just amazing. That reminds me of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, when there's like, will you say the prayer? And she's like, or no, it's like when
Say grace?
Yeah, say grace.
Grace, like, she died 7 years ago.
And she's like, I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Good old Uncle Eddie gets up there, starts putting a hand on the heart there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, my dad's done stuff. There was one time, so Back to the Future 2 had come out. It was either 2 or 3, I can't remember.
Yeah.
And I was a young buck. I was probably about your age.
Yeah.
So we go to this movie theater, the Cinedome, which was on Decatur and like Desert Inn. Doesn't even exist anymore. And we're waiting for the movie to start. This was before you could like reserve your seat and all this stuff.
You just like walked in and chose a seat.
And we had a big group, and this movie was packed. And so the theater was full, and we got a pretty good seat. All of us were sitting together. I think my uncle and his family was there. And so, we're waiting for the movie to start, and my dad starts, saying like, hey, if you guys don't start singing, they're not going to start the song, or start the movie. And so he, him and my uncle Sully, they start singing, and like there's one other rando like off in the far, and he's singing along. And then an usher comes out, and he goes to the front of the theater, and he says, the exits are onto your left and to your right. You need to exit immediately.
What?
Somehow, I don't know, the usher was confused, whatever, so... At that point, my dad goes, see, I told you got to start singing. And then a lot more people started singing. And then the usher realized, like, no, he'd made a mistake. And so we sat back down. And so, yeah, man, that's old Grandpa's seat right there.
Wait, what if he just paid off the usher?
Well, it didn't do us any difference. We had our same seats,
Oh, yeah.
I feel bad for the people that left the theater. Like, I don't know if they got back in or they lost their seats. Some people actually left.
They're like, oh.
I mean, you didn't like it could have been a fire. There could have like an usher saying like, "Hey, you need to exit immediately."
Yeah, I don't know. I just like I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably just walk out, but I'd wait like a couple of seconds. Like I'd like look around,
Yeah, I mean, nowadays if something like that happened, I'd be getting out of there as fast as I could. I mean, it could be a shooter or something. Like, you have no idea.
Terminator.
The Terminator.
Yeah.
He's back.
I'll be back.
He'll be back. Yeah. So look, if you're listening, you're going to be on an elevator at some point.
Yeah.
Instead of making it awkward, make it more awkward by having a meeting in the elevator.
Or start singing.
Or encourage others to sing. It'll make it, we all have interactions throughout the day.
Yeah.
Make them memorable.
Yeah. Since we're like on a patriotic thing, I remember one 4th of July where we're in Utah and we're watching like fireworks burst up everywhere. And so we're riding back, and it's me, Ralph, David, and Aubrey, and Mom. And so we're driving back up to, like, the cabin or something. And we just put on full blast, God Bless the USA on repeat. And I remember that, and that was amazing.
Yeah, so I don't want to one-up you, but I want to go along with you. So there's the CrossFit workout that we do on 9/11.
Yeah.
You know, and it's in honor of those people who died, 9/11.
Yeah.
And so whenever they do that, they play patriotic music. And they typically will stage the playlist so that when you're near the end of that workout, that song...
Yeah, God Bless the USA.
Yeah, it comes on, and it's a team workout. And I remember probably about 4 years ago, Aubrey and I are doing this workout together, and it's a row.
Yeah.
And the row is I can't remember how many people it is. Shame on me for not remembering. But it's the number of people that died in the towers that day from when the planes hit them. And so you have to row that many meters. So it's 3,000 meters or more than that. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And that song's playing, and man, your adrenaline gets pumping, and you get a little teary-eyed, and it's pretty special.
Yeah, I never cry. Never.
Oh, dude, you're so full of crap.
Yeah, you never cried too, right?
Dude, I cry all the time. I've established this. I'm a crier now,
yeah,
man.
You used to be like...
I used to be so tough.
Yeah, not anymore.
You're tougher than I am.
Yeah, I'm getting my shell on,
You're doing all right. So, speaking of etiquette, I think I've broken some social etiquette rules.
Yeah, planes, like on a plane.
Why don't you tell people what I've been doing?
So basically, you're watching the Green Book on this plane, and so you're like...
Got my AirPods in.
Yeah, like AirPod Pros, so you can't hear anything. And so...
I couldn't hear that baby crying that you guys were complaining about.
So basically, it's a funny movie. Like, there's some funny parts. So you just start laughing, like, You're just cackling, and I look at you, and, like, there's some people, like, looking... There's, like, some people looking back, and there's a baby crying. And I'm like...
Somebody's in their misery, and I'm over here laughing at them.
Yeah, they're like, oh, be quiet. Oh, my goodness, I hope this baby... You can't get that baby to sleep.
Or it's like, oh, finally, everyone be quiet. We got the baby sleeping. Who's that a-hole laughing back there?
Yeah, and then also, you have like many different laughs. So you're like, the one that's kind of like, oh, that's kind of messed up, but it's still funny. So you're like, oh, I don't know how to do it. And then you have one where it's just like, you have one where it's just like completely hilarious, and that's the,
Which one is this?
That one's just the normal, normal one.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's hard because what's fun. I mean, it was spontaneous, and it really caught me off guard. It was funny, and I'm not going to hide it. It's like I like to sneeze. I hate. You got to sneeze. I hate when you're in public, and the social etiquette thing to do is like, I got to hold this thing in.
Yeah.
It feels good to sneeze.
Yeah.
And so to me, when you hold it back, it's like, why are you holding it back? It feels good. And you know what? It feels good to laugh.
Yep. Oh, my teacher told me if you hold in a sneeze will burst your lung. So I was like, oh, I don't think I want to hold in my sneeze anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true. I mean, maybe one time. I don't know. That seems preposterous.
Yeah. There's some funny thing that people believe are dangerous, like drinking a gallon of milk. You think
Well, so there was a radio competition a long time ago.
Yeah.
Of who could drink the most water in 30 minutes or something like that.
Oh.
And somebody literally died from that.
No, I know. If you drink too much water, you actually die. I know that. That's dangerous. There's some dangerous things you can do, but there's some stuff that isn't dangerous that you can do too, and it's pretty fun.
Like hitting yourself in the head with a hammer.
Or with the water bottle.
So, all right. So, let's keep this etiquette train ride going.
Yeah.
Let's talk gift etiquette.
Oh, yeah. Always smile. No matter if you hate it or, it's the worst thing. I mean, if it's, with your, immediate family, I guess sometimes if you get something that you don't like, you can be like, really, man, come on.
I honestly, so here's this is my lessons that I've learned And Renee will listen to this, and she's rolling her eyes right now because for many years, and maybe even now to an extent, I am the worst gift receiver.
Huh.
And it's stupid. It's like, look, it's a gift. I didn't have it before. Now I have it. So
Yeah.
So why would there ever be an attitude? But what happens is if you have expectations,
Yeah.
and then the gift does not meet the expectations, now you're disappointed. So if for your birthday you think, it's your 16th birthday and you think you're going to get a car,
Yeah.
you think you're going to get a brand new car, and instead you get a used car, well that sucks.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you just got a car.
Yeah, you have to be happy about things. Like, usually, like, I'm always trying to, like, even if I hate the gift, it's, like, terrible or something. I'm like, oh, my goodness, thank you so much. Because you're like, oh, man, this sucks. They're going to feel bad, too,
Yeah. No, and so anyway, the key to gift receiving is to expect nothing and then to be grateful for everything.
Yeah.
Which brings us to a story.
Yes. Once upon a time.
Once upon a time, there was a boy named Ralph. No relation to the Haldemans, but he happened to be my fifth child.
Yeah. And he was about 1 year old.
Not even about. He was turning 1 year old.
Oh, so yeah, he's turning 1 year old, and this is a birthday. And this is a baby.
He's baby. I'm going to pause the story for a second.
Yeah.
There's stuff that we do in our culture. We're talking about cultural things, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that we do a lot, and I would say we, like not everybody, but a lot of people will throw a birthday party for a 1 year old. And I'm talking an elaborate birthday party.
Oh.
Like they got catered food, they got entertainment, they got all sorts of that. Do you remember your first birthday?
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, definitely not.
And so my take is like, why am I, and this is why I'm a bad parent, but why am I going to blow all this money on a birthday party for a kid who's turning 1 when you're not going to remember? You don't have friends to invite. It's like, and my friends don't want to come to your 1 year old birthday party.
So, sorry, this is a little off topic, but there's this like show that they make cakes, like a couple $1,000 cakes. And they made this cake for a 1 year old baby birthday party, and the baby was like it was supposed to be like a cake that you can like interact with or whatever, and
interact with the cake.
Yeah, it's like you can like smack like break it, like stuff open. And I don't want that baby touching my cake. Like, I mean, you don't know where that baby's been.
I mean, even if you know where that baby's been, you don't want whatever that baby has in its hand.
Yeah,
babies are dangerous.
Yeah, they like.
Yeah, they lick their hands. They put their hands in their diapers. Like, there's no telling what's going on there.
And also, this baby's 1 year old. They're not going to remember. You can show them a video, but that's not,
So, usually they'll give, like, a baby cake where the baby destroys it.
Yeah. I think that was that.
So, I remember when Addison turned 1. I know we're going to talk about when Ralph turned 1, but when Addison turned 1, so we had a little cupcake for her or something like that, or a piece of cake. And we're like, go ahead, Addison, eat it. And, she's our first kid, and we fed her all the time. And so she's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, you guys feed me. Like, she's just kind of like the cake. We're like, go ahead, eat it. And she's like, no, it's like, go ahead and feed it to me. And so we're like, come on, eat it. Because, like, we've seen other people, like, they eat it. They got cake all over their face. It's hilarious,
Yeah.
And so I take her hand and I poke her finger in the cake.
Yeah.
And she pulls it out and she looks at me like, what are you doing? Like, what? You're supposed to feed me the cake. Anyway, long story short, I don't even know if she feeds herself now.
Oh, wow. Like, Brandon.
Yeah, poor Brandon. She's expecting the baby Liza's going to have to feed her.
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, this is also off topic, but, like, basically, when it's kind of messed up, but it's still very funny when they have the cake and you just slam their head into the cake.
Yeah, that's jacked. So they did that a lot when I was in Venezuela.
Yeah.
Not a fan of that.
But I was just...
You ruin the cake. I've seen people do it and they miss and they like smack their head in the table hard.
Yeah, but I was thinking, what if you did that to like the cupcake with Addie?
Or I've also seen it where like they don't blow the candles out all the way. Yeah, hair catches on fire and stuff.
Oh, I saw a video like where they're like had the candles or something, and they like were blowing like with this that.
Oh yeah, the streamer or whatever it is. Yeah.
And, like, something caught on fire, and this girl's hair was on fire.
Yeah, dude, terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Birthday party disasters, man.
Okay, back on track.
All right, back on track. So Ralph's turning 1 year old. We get him presents, and he's won. We needed a new toaster.
Yeah. This baby's not going to know what a toaster is.
He's not going to know. They don't even care. Like, Christmas time with babies, like, buy them one gift because that's all they want. And most of the time, they'll play with the box more than they play with the actual toy.
Ooh, I got a box.
Seriously, I can't tell you how many times we would buy you kids presents. We take the toy out of the box, and instead you're playing with the box, not the
We're like
present.
riding it down the stairs.
Yeah.
It's like, the best thing ever happened to me.
You're climbing in it, you're putting it in your mouth, whatever. All right, so we give Ralph a toaster.
Yeah.
What is his reaction?
So, expected reaction, just looks at it, grabs it, like kind of like bangs on it for a little bit, and then you just take it, put it on the table, and next present or whatever.
Actual reaction.
Comes out bawling, throwing the biggest fit ever. It's your birthday.
It's your birthday, and you're 1 year old, dude.
Yeah.
You're one.
So, oh my goodness.
It was crazy, and it's funny because even like we got you a toaster. Was it 2 years ago on your birthday when you turned 12? We got you a toaster.
No, I was like
11.
11, yeah.
We needed a toaster, and it was like, hey, this will be funny. It's a joke, so we just get it to you because we know you can take a joke.
Yeah.
How did you feel about getting the toaster?
I was fine.
Yeah, you're fine with it.
And yeah, got me a toaster and a broken hoverboard.
Sorry, I forgot that hoverboard was broken. Now we got you a fixed one.
Yeah.
But anyway, so even today, like we were joking around on our trip about getting Ralph a toaster for his birthday.
And he still was like, no, you don't do that. It's not funny. You don't even remember it. You don't remember it.
It's like, yeah, I do. No, you've seen the picture of it. You don't remember it, though.
Yeah. And I remember, we had like these baby books full of pictures, and he had there's like the toaster picture in there, and like we would always look at it and we would just laugh, and he'd get so emotional.
Get emotional over it. He'd almost start crying again.
Yeah, and so we're like, he's like, just put it in the back, just put it in the back.
He's a sensitive guy. We love him.
Yeah, we love him.
And he is very fickle about getting a toaster for his birthday.
Ralph, you're gonna be disappointed with my present to you. It's gonna be a toaster.
All right, so let's bring up this section is going to be brought to you by Old Spice. Old Man Moments brought to you by Old Spice.
Yes.
And the Old Man Moment is I haven't had an Old Man Moment.
Oh, wow. That's surprising.
If I did, I can't remember it. But
Wait.
Go ahead.
Old Man Moment, you can't remember.
But so I do want to do a follow-up. So I did email Old Spice and trying to get them to sponsor us.
Yeah.
And they have not gotten back to me.
Disappointing.
This is very disappointing, especially because I've hyped them. I use them. They're on my armpits.
Yeah, but so yeah, let's talk about like people. Actually, let's talk about like companies that you email or send a letter to, and like you're angry at them or you just want them to like know something, and they just never respond.
Well, this is something we ought to talk about another time because I don't know if you know this, but I've sent many letters and emails to companies
like Haagen-Dazs. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Haagen-Dazs, Oreo, Rice Krispie. I mean, there's a lot of them, and I'll have to bring them back up. I have to find the letters that I've sent because it's kind of funny, some of the stuff. But I don't know if we have time to talk about it right now.
Yeah.
Because really what I want to talk about is things that Jonathan may or may not have said over this past weekend.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. The first thing that there's so many of these things and I forgot to write them all out.
Yeah.
So I only have two.
Oh, okay.
So the first thing, New Mexico isn't in the United States.
Well, I mean, now I know that it is, but I always just thought it was part of Mexico.
Well, it used to be part of Mexico until we took it back.
Yeah.
Or not took it back, took it, I guess, or battled it out, bought it. I don't know.
Also, like, why name it New Mexico? Make up a new name. Same with New England. I mean, like...
Well, New England's a region, but they went from Old England, and then they came to New England.
Yeah.
Because England did own that portion for a while, so that's why it's New England.
Yeah, or like England 2.0. Okay.
All right, number 2. Wait, is June before or after July?
Yeah, the months were not my strong suit in preschool.
You're not in preschool anymore, bro. You're not in preschool anymore. You are definitely not in preschool anymore. Oh, man. All right, dude. let's talk about one more thing.
Wait, they actually, I don't remember where, but I saw some people taking photos instead of videos. Or, no.
When we were on our trip?
Oh, no. Okay, we were at, sorry, sidetracked, but we were at Grandma and Grandpa's house, and Grandpa, we were trying to, like, make, like, a short little movie thing, and Grandpa would hit the wrong button, and
it's hard being old, man. Just
Yeah.
wait. It's gonna happen to you, and you can't remember June or July, which comes first, which is New Mexico or United States.
Yeah.
So you're gonna world for hurt if you're struggling now.
Okay.
It's probably a good opportunity right now to bring up that we are sponsored by Doc R. Haldeman LLC.
Yeah. She can help you with women's health, PTSD.
Mental health.
Yeah.
Anxiety issues.
Addiction.
Addiction recovery. So you can find Renee or Dr. Haldeman at Renaissance Health Center.
Yeah.
It's on West Cheyenne, up near the 215. So I want to share just something real quick. She was talking to me earlier today, and she has a patient who has MS, multiple sclerosis, which can be a very debilitating disease.
Yeah.
And he's been seeing her on and off. He doesn't live in town, but he'll come into town, and when he does, he'll just get a bunch of appointments like right in a row.
Yeah.
And he'd not been sleeping very well. He'd had a couple flare-ups where he has to go to the hospital and just get loaded up on steroids and stuff like that to help him out. He came in town, saw her yesterday, and he slept for 7 hours. First time he'd slept for a long time, that long of a time, in a long time.
Wow.
Pretty impressive. And so he came back, saw her again today, so that's how she got the update. And she's doing a few other things where it's drastically helped him and reduced his symptoms.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
So, I mean, there's lots of things for you to go see her. I mean, I got a treatment last night. It was great. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we are going to wrap things up after Quote of the Week. And Quote of the Week is by Homer J. Simpson. Forbidden donut.
It's a great episode.
Yeah.
Where
Homer sells his soul to the donut devil or something like that.
Yeah, and the punishment for eating the forbidden donut was he had to eat all the donuts in the world.
Yeah, and he was eating all
You like donuts, eh?
Why to have all the donuts in the world?
More. Did we talk about Disneyland today at all?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, so I guess some weeks we talk about Disney, some weeks we don't. Wait, maybe we get Disney as a sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
Quote of the Week is brought to you by Disney, bringing you joy for years. Pay for it now. Enjoy it later.
Yeah.
Or enjoy it now. Pay for it the rest of your life. That's more like it.
Yeah. Okay. See you later.
Have a good week. Thanks for listening.
Bye.